Hello friends, Dr. Nitro and 8-Bomb Custom Workshop here with you again. Sophie Burst is ready for assembly, but first I will tell you what parts I will use in this case. I collected all these parts for a very long time and scrupulously selected each of them. So what parts have I prepared for you today? Many of them are original parts from the 50s and from the 60s. Many of them are replicas, good replicas that I analyzed, tried, and they seem to me very worthy. So you will watch the process and I think you will learn a lot of new information for yourself. Let's go. Okay, friends, also I want to remind you that I also have an Instagram in which a lot of interesting guitar photos appear, and as soon as my friend Rodion and I get a sticky and soul-saving guitar shooting, these photos are the first to appear on my Instagram, 8-Bomb Custom Workshop. So here, follow this link and check out my Instagram. Subscribe and watch the beauty that Rodion Kavenkin does, and so do I from time to time. Okay, let's ready to assemble. Let me tell you a little about what parts do I have for this guitar. I've been looking for and collecting many parts for a very long time, because some of them are original parts of vintage Les Pauls. Let's go through each element individually. So pickups, PAF pickups. But I wanted to wind a new set for this guitar, one of my own. We have an excellent pickguard made of plastics. This is not the original, this is a replica from Bartlett. Very correct royalite plastic. The same. Slightly vintaged. Its thickness is 2.45. It's 0.097 inch. Very good color. It has aged very well. And not only artificially, but also naturally. Next, switch ring. This is a replica. A fairly good one, with the correct font. Relicked a little by me, a very long time ago, for Sophie Burst. I also have an original ring for it. Modern switchcraft with my replica of this plastic tip. It looks, I think, pretty good. Next, the plastic part for the jack. This is a replica made of modern plastic. I think I even cut it myself. Although it may be done by someone else, I don't remember. Soldering. I will return the old one. Here I just have such hooks soldered on potentiometers in order to change the pickups quite often, not to overheat the caps, the covers of the potentiometers. The potentiometers I use are from vintage-inspired pickups. This is a replica of the central lab with a very correct volume distribution. Works most correctly and smoothly with sound. I highly recommend trying them out. They work perfectly with 50s wiring. So these are the potentiometers I now use all the time instead of CTS. The thing is that in vintage Les Pauls, this stock was made of silicon, made of silver metal. And I have been looking for them for a very long time and found only CTS for European knobs. So the American knobs did not fear there. The thing is that a few years ago, I found original potentiometer knobs from the 50s. And just look at the difference. Now I will show you the modern knobs. Here's a modern knob. And here is the vintage one. They're different in shape, different in material, different in color as well. They're naturally aged. They're green inside, and they smell like your grandmother. I really hope that in the future, not far away, I will make a casting mold for these knobs, just like I did for my bob ends, and start producing the same replicas myself. Actually, for this I looked for them and bought them. Here we have our 4 knobs. And the great thing about them is that they fit just perfectly on the potentiometer stock with ease, just like, well, listen. It's not really the case with the modern ones. They don't fit all the way and often crack, which is not nice. I don't really like that. Probably threw them away somewhere. Okay, here. See the crack? Inside, the metal is much harder on modern stocks. And very often, if they are put on the potentiometer with force, they crack. Okay. One of the most important original parts is the bridge. Original bridge from 1964. Yet it is in chrome, with a chrome finish. Here so interestingly aged. Why it's the one from 64? This is very clearly visible in the Gibson ABR1 logo. And it is the same casting mold that was used in the late 50s. It was in the 64th that the form was slightly changed, and this is noticeable in the phone size, which began to differ slightly, precisely from 1964. Up to 1964, all these bridges were cast in the same mold. Next, one of my Instagram followers from Italy sent me his replica wheels and stocks for bridge. I promised that I would tell about it and put them on my guitar. This is the name of his company, and this is what these wheels look like. Everything is done according to technology and in size, from the correct alloys. Do they sound? They sure do. Let's see how they will sound on the guitar. But they are very well made. Let's check the dimensions. 246, 1619. In inches, it will be 0.096 and 0.63. The stock in inches would be 0.137 and 1 inch. Very, very, very similar to the original part. So go to that person's Instagram, try those parts, and I think you will not regret it. Moving on. Tuners. I will use Grover tuners this time. These are also original Grover tuners, American ones from the 60s, taken from one guitar, from a very old one. My friend decided to bring it to the factory state and now gave me these tuners. As you can see, there's even a patent number here. Not a number, but a name that is patent USA. Grover tuners are practically indestructible. I really like them and I like how they work. That's why I chose the Grover for my guitar instead of Clausen. Here, these tuners will fit on this guitar. Then I had this tailpiece on my guitar. It seems to be a Clausen tailpiece. They were sold by Crazy Parts as well. Much more expensive and aged relic. I bought Clausen from Crazy Parts for testing, and it turned out to be the same manufacturer, only twice as expensive. You could notice it by this scratch, which is in the casting form. Here are a couple of scratches. I'll show them closer. These couple of scratches. These ones. And there's the third one. On all these bridges were the same. Now the casting form has changed, and these scratches are gone. It's become very neat. And even a little lighter. This is a modern version. But in this guitar, I will use my prototype. A new one. It is slightly lighter and has the correct shape. More rounded corners. Well, in general, everything as in the original, except for the back seat, because you never know, someone wants to talk about it as a counterfeit. I'm against it. That's how different it is from today. Away with that. And next, we have plastics about an anchor cover. It's not original, it's a good replica. I don't remember if it's DMC or Manfro or Bartlett. I honestly don't remember. Or maybe that's what I did, I don't know. Never mind. The important thing is that it looks exactly like the original, and I like it. Buttons. Buttons are, I think it's Goto. Relic Goto. And some big screws that looked very correct in the end. One, two. Further, under the potentiometers, these pointers will go. They're not replicas, just once I relic them myself. And this ones. All these will be with such rusty ones. Those rusty screws. These are not original screws. I aged them, relicked them myself a long time ago. And they have added some years on their own. And one of the most important parts for all this is these are the original balls from the 59's Les Paul. The importance of these details is that they have a very correct sound. They sound correctly and transmit the correct harmonics to the wood. With this tailpiece, it will be just perfect. Wonderful. I think soon I will also start making my own replicas of such bolts, because with my friends we investigated the alloys of all these original parts. I hope another original tailpiece will come to me and I will once again check everything about the percentage of the alloy and start casting this summer in larger volumes. Exactly the tailpieces. I hope even the bridges. Because if I start casting something, then this will work as well. The alloy of the bridge itself is known pretty well to me. Tailpiece alloy, well, I know it pretty well as well, but theoretically, still needs to be checked. I check everything. Every information that comes to me, I try to check on personal experience. Because I'm a skeptic, and I don't believe anyone or anybody. I can believe, I can accept, listen to it, take it into account, but for myself, I always try to check. Jack, switchcraft. Modern switchcraft. Everything is fine with it, everything works well. Well, in general, the back plates, I don't even know. It's probably from it, maybe not. I took them off and I don't even use them. Because I constantly get in the tamper block, I solder pickups, so I don't use back plates. I think very soon we will start to assemble the guitar. And you will see how all these parts, beautiful, vintage, and good replica, look on the new paint job of my Stephanie Burst Les Paul. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, put likes, leave comments, and remember Patreon. And now, I say goodbye to you, but not for long.
Rock and roll for all.